Howdy and welcome to another video. Today, we discuss some DAN GEONY leaks. Let's get right to it. For the uninformed, DAN GEONY is an alleged leaker of Minecraft things. More specifically, of features for Minecraft updates, or rather, upcoming Minecraft updates. DAN GEONY allegedly leaked some things for 1.21 specifically. Now, we are going to discuss these, and it's going to be fun. So, first things first, we're going to want to think about this one. Now, this one is a hole. That's all it is, a hole. Which is interesting enough, but when you think about it, what does this hole mean? Well, it's a hole. Could mean a black hole, which could say space. Could be anything. Like a hole, maybe in the ground, say deep dark, for example. Which brings me to an interesting point, because he did also mention this one. It's like a sound emoji, and what looks like a toolbox. Interesting. But what does this mean? Now, if you look at it more closely, a toolbox and a sound or audio emoji-like thing, well, to my brain, this sounds a lot like this shrieker. And if it sounds a lot like the shrieker, maybe, just maybe, it's a deep dark thing. I don't know. Which makes me wonder, is the hole a deep dark thing? Which makes me think about something called the skulk jaw. Now, King Bee Dogs and Inferno Overdrive did have a little conversation, but this was back in 2021. Inferno says, at King Bee Dogs, recently, people have been able to find some sculpt textures in the latest Minecraft beta. Remember, this is a year or two ago. One of the things is called the Skulk Shrieker. Will this block replace the Skulk Trap, as it is not mentioned? And King Bee Dogs here responded, Skulk Trap, which is actually called Skulk Jaw, is unlikely to make it into the game. Wasn't very happy with its design. Skulk Shrieker is a completely different block. Of course, as we know, the Skulk Shrieker did end up coming to the actual update, because we all dread hearing it shriek when we go to the deep dark. But what would the Skulk Jaw do? And that is where the fun speculation comes in. Because if we look at the Skulk Jaw, we consult a PNG that I've found. It's actually pretty interesting. Because in this face, right here, this phase, it looks like there are no teeth here. Possibly like its teeth have been retracted. And then here, the teeth are out. So this begs the question, what exactly is this? I mean, if you look at it, it does look a lot like the Warden, or rather the center of the Warden. Somewhat. Not exactly, but there are similarities to the body of the Warden. So it makes you wonder, what would this do? Would it swallow you up like a hole in the ground? Or would it just be more similar to a magma block? You walk over it, and while you're on it, it damages you. Just like a magma block would. Or maybe it does something more akin to the Warden and maybe fires a little pulse at you? I don't know. Maybe that would be too similar to the Warden. So I think it would be more likely to either maybe swallow you up just a little bit, which isn't as likely because I don't think Mojang would do something that cool, a block that swallows you up. Or the more likely option, the magma block method. Simple. You stand on it, it damages you. Just like a magma block. Now this would be interesting and all. That much I can be certain of. But would they actually do this? I'm not entirely sure. Because it would be cool, but I'm not entirely sure Mojang would actually do something like this. They'd probably go a little bit of a different route with it, in my personal opinion. But that is just me. I mean, they had a chance to add some new golems in the update. More specifically, the tough and copper golems. And as this tweet from Echo points out, some YouTubers were told the tough and copper golems would not be added to 1.21, which is sad if you think about it, but that's a topic for another video. Personally, I would love to see some new things in the deep dark. Maybe, just maybe, it would actually give me more of an incentive to actually go down there, because I would want to see what it does, after all. I would be very curious, in my personal opinion. What do these new blocks do? How much damage do they do? Because that is a fair question. Precisely how much damage would these blocks do? If they were added to the game, mind you. Because I have no idea if they're going to be added. No one does, really. But you know what? It would be interesting to see them. I mean, these blocks look interesting and all, but I don't know if they would actually do this kind of thing. I mean, think about it. Would they actually add this or not? I have no idea, personally, but I think it would be interesting. Because let's think about it for a second. You add blocks like this, and it adds one more layer of danger to the deep dark itself. Makes it that much more treacherous, and as a result, that much more interesting. But the bigger question becomes, would they actually do it? Because, I mean, it would be a little too similar to the magma block, in my opinion. And would they actually make something that would be that similar to the magma block, but for another biome? Or not? I have no idea. But personally, I think it would be very interesting. Because think about it for a moment. If stuff like that actually got added, it would be absolutely insane. But that's just me. Personally, I'm not sure what the odds of these things being added are. But I will say this. There is another intriguing option that could be added. And maybe that is what Dan Geonyi was referencing with the audio emoji and the toolbox. And that is the stone chest. Now, according to these images I've found, what you would be looking at is a chest like this. Now, it would be very interesting if these were actually done, but I have no idea personally how it would work. Personally, what I'm thinking is maybe they make noise, right? And that could be the audio emoji, right? And the toolbox could actually be a chest. So a chest that makes noise and sets off a shrieker. That is an interesting concept, but don't chests already do that in their wooden form? That's just me. It's not like chests setting off shriekers or skulk sensors would be anything new. Don't they already do that in the deep dark? I don't go there much, so I'm not entirely sure, but don't chests already do that? Set off shriekers? So that really wouldn't be anything new. What would be new is a stone chest, which would be cool, because think about it for a second. A stone chest. If you could craft these, that would be insane for builders, because builders would have so much potential with these stone chests for their ancient builds. So much lore could be added to our Minecraft world, it's not even funny. But that is a topic for another video. Personally, I think this would be an interesting addition as well. Let me know your opinions down in the comments below. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe, because it really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one.